Songwriter John Donne wrote, "Wilt thou forgive that sin where I begun, which is my sin, though it were done before?" We don't like to talk about or even think too deeply about sin. If you want to open a great theological debate, just ask about the possibility of sin in the life of a believer. I'm not going to try to answer that today, but sin is an issue that we struggle with understanding. We see a beautiful infant lying in her crib and think, surely there can be no sin in her. Or watch an older saint whose strength has waned and wonder, was there ever sin in him? Yet sin is a reality. I don't mean everyone enters this world as a criminal in the sense of our government, but I do mean everyone has a very clearly marked focus on him or herself. Little children are often obsessed by their wants. Young adults often live self-absorbed. Those in positions of power become obsessed with their ability to control others. And those who feel abandoned often soak in their abandonment. The cross casts a dark shadow across this self-centered dilemma. One solitary man, born in a small town in southern Israel, leaves us an example, an opportunity, and a hope. Paul wrote in Philippians 2:5, "Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus." What an example. The mind of Christ is an incredible example. To exemplify Christ-likeness is the pinnacle of life. What does it mean to have the mind of Christ? It certainly means to know His forgiveness. To have the mind of Christ means to live a life that has lost its self-focus. Paul wrote in Philippians 2:4, "Let each of you look out not only for his own interest, but also for the interest of others." To look out for the interest of others is fundamental to spiritual refocus. Embracing the mind of Christ means to have a refocused mind. Again, Paul wrote, "Do all things without complaining and disputing," in Philippians 2:14. Lenten is a time to examine life. Is your testimony reflective of God's presence? If it's not, it can be through His grace.